This is John Young with DJNTV with our Monday night. Usually it's a Sunday night or a Thursday night, but it's a Monday night tonight because, well, it was a busy weekend and it was kind of a crazy time. Last week we were at, a couple of my writers and myself, we were at the Digital Entertainment World, which was in the Los Angeles area. Just actually right outside, well, just right next to Beverly Hills in a town or city called Century City. Kind of a culture shock, truthfully, for us because, well, I'll cover that in just a little bit. But it's Monday night, and we're going to do a couple of things here. Actually, I got to grab my bottle of water right over here. Just one second. Okay, there we are. Anyway, so it's Monday night. We're going to do a couple of things. We're going to talk a lot about that experience because there were some cool things with that last week. And then, of course, there's some really kind of cool things we want to talk about and such. So I want to just get things set up here because we're kind of in the midst of getting everything around. Nice. There we are. Okay. So the digital entertainment world. It was in Century City. Very nice hotel. It was at the Hyatt Regency in Century City. Nice hotel. One of the things I want to share is the difference between a hotel at that conference and a typical DJ conference hotel. That's going to be one of my topics, and then we'll talk a little bit about the Do experience, go through some of the things that are happening this week. Just to give you a preview, tonight's this. Tomorrow night's Tuesday. Tuesday's Tuesday. You know what? I'm going to have to go. This is really bad. I didn't jot this down, and I'm going to have to go and check my schedule of what I got coming up the next two nights. It's really quite sad. Wednesday night actually. Nick Garrison, Nick from Jockey DJ. He's going to be coming on, and we're going to be doing a gear chat about lighting. Nick is going to be. We're going to figure out a time that works for Nick, and this is going to be kind of a regular thing for us. We're going to have him come in, and we're just going to talk about how to use lighting. Nothing, too super fancy. It's just basically going to be a couple of guys chatting about, hey, what's coming up and what's new in the lighting world, how to use some stuff. We'll be answering questions because Nick's a very knowledgeable guy. If you've gotten a chance to talk to him, yeah, he's a great guy. So that'll be happening on Wednesday. Okay, tomorrow, there we go. See, now I've got the schedule. This can be found, by the way, at www.djntv.com. That's where we put it up, and I forgot. Andy Cubby Powell will be on my guest tomorrow night. We're going to be talking about his life, where he's been, what he's done. He's been around, done a lot of things. And then he's also, right now, one of the big things is he's working with the Las Vegas DJ show, which is coming up in September. And he's got some news of some of the stuff that's coming up with the Las Vegas DJ show. Gotta say that. Great stuff. Looking forward to that. Cubby's a great guy. If you've gotten to hang with him and know him, wonderful man. We'll get to talk to him tomorrow night, and that'll be starting at 8 o'clock Central Time. Wednesday will be Nick, and then Thursday night we're going to be talking. I'm going to have someone come into the studio live with me, and we're going to be just talking gear. We've got some new gear that's just come in. We're going to have some more that'll be here by Thursday. We're going to change our little studio around, so it's going to be us in front of things. We'll have it set up so you can log in, or you can go in there and you can ask questions in the chat. The Facebook, you can comment on YouTube and such of things you want us to show you, because we're going to be looking at a lot of speakers, because in March we're going to be doing a speaker, kind of a speaker demo one more time. We did one with the Conclave in the fall. We're going to do a new version this March. We're looking for a home for that. If we're going to do it in Minnesota, we may be moving it over to the Midwest DJs live event. We're not sure yet where, but it's happening in March, and we're going to give you a preview of some of the sound systems. So that's what that was. So anyway, so we got just 4 shows going on this week. It's going to be a busy week for us, but that's kind of cool. Very cool stuff. So back to the digital entertainment world. Their first show, they had speakers. They had 300 speakers. Most of their presentations were panel. If you've never been to an event where they've had panels, basically you have a moderator, and you have, in this case, anywhere from 2 to 7 experts that are answering questions. The different experts range from social media companies that are helping to monetize content. Some of there was CNBC there was somebody from Fox, there was somebody from Warner Brothers, there was people from different gaming companies, Electronic Arts, but anyway, EA, there we go, EA Sports. lots of people there. Really, it was a cool group of people to be sitting there and listening to and talking to a little bit, asking questions. But it was really, wow, overwhelming. You know, you're talking companies that are throwing around millions of dollars. You know, oh, hey. So as a matter of fact, one of the companies there was the one who handled PepsiCo's Super Bowl. If you were at the Super Bowl or in that neck of the woods or saw that PepsiCo had this huge setup, literally. He was describing it. I didn't see it, of course, but he was describing what they were doing and making this little PepsiCo land outside the Super Bowl. Very cool. Sounded neat, but they're not talking a DJ's budget. So neat stuff. There were some gems there, and I'm going to share a few of those with you tonight. A couple of the things that we picked up. But I want to start off first with the top reasons why a DJ convention is different than the Do was, a higher end convention. First off, number one, the entry fee. The entry fee to get into the digital entertainment world was $1,000. People were happy to spend $1,000 to get in the door of this. DJ conventions, $250 is like whine, complain. If you're going to a real professional conference, expect to spend money. Of course, they also expect to learn from it. Now, there's the part that I found a little interesting. I sat in more seminars at this show than I have sat into almost any show, even the ones I produce myself. I was in seminars. Did I learn more at a $1,000 convention compared to a $100 DJ convention or a $200 DJ convention? Tough. I would say no. I did learn quite a bit, but how much of that was because it was something that was new at that scale to me. Really, it became a lot of it's typical to a DJ event. A lot of the things I did learn are things that I have seen before. Basically, it was more of a confirmation that I was doing things right in with some of the social media things I've done with my DJ company, or things I'm doing that way. So, wow, was it? The people that were there, they felt they got their money out of it, and I did get a good return with the information. But did I learn more there than I have at a DJ event? Probably, maybe not. It's a different knowledge, but probably not. So just keep that in mind, is that when we're complaining about prices for these DJ conferences, yeah, it's dirt cheap. The hotel, much different hotel. Generally the big shows are in a casino, smoky casino, kind of gross, a little scuzzy sometimes. Yeah. When you're in a higher end conference like that, they're in a nicer venue. This particular, we complain about rooms being $50 and $60 a night at a DJ convention. Well, the rooms are $250 a night. That was the show rate, and that was at a discounted rate. $250 a night. What did that get you? It got you your bed, shower, shampoo, soap, and lotion, hand lotion. That was it. In the room, they had refrigerators, but of course, they were the electronic refrigerators that if you moved anything, you would be charged for it, and Lord knows how much those were. I can tell you that a glass of orange juice downstairs was $7 a glass, so I don't know what the things were in the room. And if you had something you want to put in a refrigerator, there was no room, so they would bring one up to you for an additional $5 a day. They also had this beautiful little display with snacks in it. Well, you could help yourself to a snack. Again, computer controlled, down to the desk, charged to your room. Don't know how much, didn't care. They luckily had a Starbucks on site, so you could go down and get your coffee and a roll or oatmeal, as some people like. And it only ran you about $15 for that. So, $12 probably. So, nicer hotel, really, but you had to pay for everything. We had to pay for internet access. You had to pay for almost everything except water from the spigot. But the room was nice, and we had a beautiful view. So that was kind of nice. Didn't stink. It was, it smelled clean, and the people maintaining it was great. It was real woodwork in the room. The tiling was real slate. It was a nice room. One of the big things that I really appreciate after being in some of the DJ convention hotels is the exhaust fan was there in the bathroom, and it actually worked, because there's times where you go in the bathroom and you're taking a shower, it's all steamed up, and you get down, you're waiting for the mirror to clear, and you wipe it down, and it's because there's no exhaust in there. That was kind of cool that it actually worked. Still in the bathroom, soft water. Oh my gosh, there was soft water. So after 2 days of showering, you didn't feel like your skin was being dried up and taken off. That was really, really cool. The main seminar room, I actually want to show you a picture here, if we can do this. This was a picture of the main seminar room. Now you can take a look at that right here. This is, where are we at? Right here. That, of course, is the screen. That screen was about a 24 to 26 foot diagonal screen. Huge screen. Very sharp. They had the screen there, and of course they were projecting from the back of the room onto that, like a movie theater. This was like a theater that you're looking at right now, and I've just kind of zoomed into it. I'm going to go and let's see if I can give you a better look at the whole room. And I might lose my microphone. Let's just try this and see if we have microphone yet. Do we have mic now? There we go. Sorry about the mic. So this was what the room kind of looked like. Yeah, we'll go back to that. You'll see in the front that it had a couple of really had some of the column scrims, and it did a lot of kind of scrim work behind. It was really neat. They had some color changing going on. Pretty cool. On the stage, everyone was mic'd to lapel mic, and they had a nice sound system. It could have been a little bit better, but you know what? It was okay. The room was set up the first day, I think, for about $450. They reset some of it into classrooms so that it could look fuller. We've done that in the DJ and DJ events too. Just you want to make sure that room looks full. You don't want people to be looking and saying, "Wow, it's really empty." Great room for seating because again, it's a theater, so that there's tiering going on, and we were sitting up on the right so we could see pretty much the stage. I had one. You can see from that picture, I had one kind of tall person who sat in the same spot every time, and of course I was too stubborn to move to a different spot either, so maybe it was me too. Anyway, great event, great room. Boy oh boy, that stage area and how they had it set up was just fabulous. But that was the main stage. Now the breakouts were happening in all the different little rooms around the property. Little rooms set up for maybe 50 people. They had, I think, 6 or 7 of those, and they would have a screen in front, do their little thing, talk about it, answer some questions at the end, whatever. Very, very cool. It was the neatest part. What I really appreciated. We go from our room down the hall a little bit to the elevator, down the elevator to the California rooms, or the California floor, which is the basement pretty much. Get out of the elevator, 2 steps. There were these seminars. There was the exhibitors. You were right there. So literally to go from the room back 2 or 3 minutes, if that. So fabulous event that way. Walking in the neighborhood, this part of the world was where I mentioned culture shock earlier. This was a little bit different for those of us. We go to DJ conventions. We can leave the casino or the hotel, or we can, even in a casino, we can go find like an ABC store, just to go grab a bottle of water or something and not be paying an exorbitant amount. Well, they didn't have that in that neck of the woods. Basically, there was the restaurant on site and there was a mall across the street. Well, you really couldn't find anything to eat for under, $10 was cheap. Most of the meals we had a couple of those, and we weren't getting anything fancy. It was $50 a person, really quick. The morning breakfast buffet was fabulous. It looked fabulous, but it was $32 a person. Again, when you're into a nicer hotel and you're into nicer accommodations, you're going to be investing more money to live. We had the breakfast that we had. It was just eggs and sausage and some potatoes. Nothing super fancy, but nothing super fancy, and it still was $25 or $27. But it was really nice. When I ordered it, it's like, God, it can't be worth that. You know what? It was worth that because the presentation, it looked good. The food was prepared well. It was exactly the way I wanted it. After I was done, I couldn't complain. It was like my first experience getting a $50 steak in Chicago. We were at one of the Chicago Mobile Beat shows many years ago, and we're at the show, and we go over to Harry Carey's, and it's like, we've got to do this steak, or go there and have a steak. And we went there, and it's like the most expensive steak on the menu that night was like $50. And everyone else was ordering, so it's like, I got to do the $50 steak. Well, you get the $50 steak. It's about so big, and that's all you got. I'm used to in our rural area up here where you get a steak and you got access to the salad bar and your potato and whatever else. Everything's kind of included in the price of the steak. Wasn't so there. So I got the $50 steak, and I'm thinking, well, this will be an experience I can talk about negatively for the rest of my life. That's why I'm doing this. Turns out that the $50 steak was awesome. I really didn't miss not having the other stuff because the steak was so awesome that anything else really would have hindered from that. So it was an experience, but I couldn't complain about it. Same with their breakfast. Yes, it was expensive, but really, it was good. I couldn't complain about it. So in the neighborhood. You get out, you go to the mall, and the different burger. There's Build Your Burger. There's the different places. Great stuff there. But we're in a higher end part of town, so yeah, you don't have McDonald's. You don't have your cheaper things, which is probably okay. Coolest thing in the mall, by the way, is the Tesla. We got to go look at the Tesla, sit and drive, or not drive, but sit in there, pretend you're driving. Yeah, cool car. That's for another day. Okay, I'm going to continue on. Now we're going to talk about some of the things we picked up at DO, some of the experiences that we had with DO 2014. By the way, they've announced their dates for next year. They're going to be a little bit earlier in February, around the 14th, 15th, 16th, I believe, somewhere in there next year. Maybe it was the 12th through the 15th. I don't remember. Anyways, a little bit earlier. If you're really into social media, if you're really into creating digital content, it might be something to check out. Yes, it's an investment, but you're going to get to spend time with people who are on the cutting edge of the gaming industry, the television industry, the radio industry, the music industry. Those people were there. For myself, I was looking for certain information. I was able to get that information and things I didn't even know I didn't know. Yeah, great stuff. But for someone who's wanting to get into that field, really, there were people actually there who handed out business cards and will probably end up getting employed because of their appearance there. So it's pretty cool. Okay, some of the lessons from DO 2014. It won't even cost you $1,000 to get this information. First off, and this one we kind of knew, mobile devices, of course, are huge. Right now, mobile devices are making up over 60% of the internet usage in the United States. The other parts of the world, it's even higher than that. They're predicting that it's going to continue to be about 75% here probably in the next year or so, and they could be seeing as high as 80 to 90% in a couple of years. A lot of the numbers that they're using is basically what's your prediction for 2015 and then 2017 is what they did. And the mobile devices are really taking over. What does that mean for us as DJs? First off, if your website isn't mobile device friendly, and if you can't look at it on your cell phone and activate it or access it from your cell phone, which includes, if you're having date checkers, music request things, online request forms, if you can't do that through your cell phone, you got to change your website. It has to be mobile friendly, and it has to have, as an example, your videos need to be HTML5 so they can be played. Because right now, we've heard, Apple was big in that market, and then, then recently Samsung's been coming on. We've been hearing more about the Galaxy, whatever. That's good, but and you're talking to a lot of people around the room. That's going to get me to my next point. There's in the industry, music, entertainment, any of that industry, there's a huge respect for Apple. Oh my gosh, I'm an Apple fanboy pretty much, but there are people in there who just gaga for Apple because they're such a huge player and influencer in consumers' tastes and desires. There's going to be when Apple introduces the iPhone 6 coming up this fall, there was a lot of people talking that they are anticipating that being potentially a game changer with how people consume their social media. Because the new iPhone 6 is supposed to have some capabilities that there hasn't been in any of the predecessors, Samsung or Apple, and it's going to be able to do some things. It's going to reach a new market of people who have the iPhone 4. The iPhone 4 and 4S people are going to be so excited that they didn't go to 5, they're going to jump to 6. And they're probably going to go through more iPhone 6s than they have in any of the others, probably maybe even a couple of them combined. And that I heard from different sources, different people within the gaming and the music and the digital content creator for the internet. So a lot of respect for Apple, and the iPhone 6 is going to be something. Definitely you want to make sure your websites are optimized, because in that short period of time after iPhone 6 and the next iPad comes out, and then there will be catch up with the others, whatever happens, you're going to have more and more of your future clients using devices, and so you got to be ready for it. Speaking of Apple and the iPhone, the mobile devices, they were talking about smart TVs. Some of us have them, some don't use them. Some look at it and say, "Wow, that's cool." Smart TVs basically do not register on how people use the internet or what devices people use to get on the internet. It doesn't even exist. I mean, it's there, but it doesn't. And again, multiple experts, different panels that don't communicate with each other. What they were sharing is that when smart TVs are going to take off will be when and if Apple introduces a smart TV. Because if Apple does it, the phrasing I heard from people is if Apple does it, Apple will do it right. What does that mean for us? Well, first off, if we have a website and we have low quality photos and low quality video, and Apple has the smart TV and people are using that and using it a lot, that means that little grainy picture that we've had since 1970, well, of course, 2000, not going to work anymore. Your video footage, the video footage that you shot, and I mean, I'm guilty of this one also. I've got some 640 by 480 video that I shot, SD stuff, that I'm still using in my demo video. That kind of stuff is going to have to it's going to be replaced with high quality professional video clips that are going to look really, really good on the screen, because that screen now is going to go from the 4.5, 5-inch stuff to the 10-inch stuff of the iPad. It's going to now go up to a 50-some inch or 70-some inch, whatever Apple's smart TV, because they really think that again, that's speculating, but if anyone is going to do it, it's going to be Apple. And if Apple does that, we need to be, as DJs, kind of cognizant of our content's going to have to improve for that. Facebook, of course, was huge. Huge discussion. One of the things with Facebook that they talked about is, and a lot of us have seen this, is the lack of teenagers on Facebook. Facebook has really gotten old, and I say this because of the people who are using it. We're not young. No. Teenagers have just abandoned Facebook. A lot of them have gone to other social medias, which Snapchat, of course, is one that you're thinking, yeah, that's where they're all at. Yeah, kind of. The WhatsApp was not a teen purchase, by the way, for those of you wondering. WhatsApp was basically so that they could get into some markets that Facebook isn't into. Messenger is used with Facebook in the United States, but in the UK and China and different areas, WhatsApp, that's why that was done. But it's not a teen thing. Teens are using things like Tumblr. Tumblr's huge. They really were looking, a lot of talk of Tumblr. Twitter is consistent with teenagers, which is an interesting thing. Twitter's been there. It's like, Twitter and then Facebook comes in and does their thing, and now they're just kind of go. But Twitter's been consistent with teenagers and actually pulling more teenagers back, which is interesting. Google Plus didn't make the discussions, which was really surprising. YouTube does. And maybe some of the YouTube they're pushing over to Google Plus, but really as a social media platform, Google Plus wasn't even on the radar. Tumblr and Reddit, Reddit, were the two that really were the ones that they're seeing teens go to. There's some others and that were out there, little things that they maybe. The question was asked to some of these social media experts again, what they thought. Okay, the one panel had people from different, and then there was one guy from MySpace there. And the first question the gal asked, she asked the question. She says, which social media do you think basically is on its way out? And of course, I'm MySpace guy's right there. I mean, really? How could you ask him this? Anyway. MySpace launched something new in 2013, and they feel really positive that MySpace is going to grow and become a competitor again. Maybe it will. I don't know. It was interesting. Ones that all of them pointed, of course, is to Facebook pulling in a large adult population, but not so much in the children or the teen population. So that was probably the biggest that came out of that, and then they laugh about the MySpace guy and asking him that question. Okay, one of the things with Facebook that a lot of people talked about, the idea with the digital entertainment world is that the monetizing of digital content, videos that are out there, people who are creating content, whether it's music videos are obviously becoming big, even educational content that's done digitally, is how to monetize that and to get to an audience. And Facebook, of course, became one of the most talked about methods of reaching an audience. If you haven't done anything with Facebook ads, you need to spend a little time just looking at it. Put up a post on your page, your business page. Go to the ads area and just look and see some of the options, because you can do some tailoring. You can do some really fine tuning of your ads in your audience and find the exact people. You have to know what your demographic is, but you can literally get to the point where you have. My demographic is these people, they look like this and they do this, and you can market to just them. It's a fabulous tool. It was, in the room they're talking about how Google Ads was a little talk, but Facebook's marketing engine is incredible. Of course, as a user of Facebook, we trade for that fun of being able to communicate with our friends and seeing all this stuff. We trade a lot of our private information so that Facebook then can contour ads to us. Yeah, I don't care. Truthfully, it's not that big of a deal. But again, Facebook ads is something you need to look at. I can see a day in the near future where, as wedding DJs, we're going to spend less time at bridal shows and things like that. We're going to find ways to be able to market to that niche, the exact few, because women are on Facebook right now more than younger women are more than younger guys. It's just the way it is. Younger guys, I guess, want to Snapchat pictures of their butts back and forth. I don't know. But anyway, I can see in the future where that's going to become just a huge thing, because people are coming back to Facebook, especially as they get into their professions, or if they're, have a business. You have a business, you've got to have a Facebook business page, hence you're back on Facebook. A couple of changes Facebook's going to be doing that they mentioned is specifically they're talking about videos. Videos are going to become even bigger on Facebook. They're going to, maybe I saw this on one of my feeds for a while. The ability for, if you've got Vine, which is another thing that, by the way, it's coming out and kids are loving Vine. Vine is where you basically go and you have the little app and you can shoot a 7-second video. Actually, I wonder if I can actually show you what Vine looks like. If you can see this. Can't, so I don't want to do that. So I go to here's Vine right here. And you can see the video just like automatically starts up. And now I'm seeing a tiger doing something. I don't know. I'm trying to watch it there. But anyway, you can go and you hit the little camera if you don't have Vine. And now it should be showing me. And if I hit this, you see that progress bar going across the top. And it's now shooting that 7-second video. And once it's done, now I have a 7-second video of me. And the Vine will allow that to. Across the top, and it's now shooting that 7-second video. If I hit this, you see that progress, and it just continues to repeat. It'll continue to repeat that so when you're scrolling down the page on your feed, whatever Vine is showing plays. Well, Facebook's going to be doing something similar. Not that you're going to hear the audio, which you do on Vine, but they want it so that when you're scrolling down, if there's a video in the newsfeed, it'll start playing. So you'll see the video. If you want to listen to it, you click on it, and you hear the audio. And the idea with that is that they're expecting to get more engagement with the videos. What does that mean to you and I? Well, it means that, first off, we hopefully have a nice audience that's going to see the things in their newsfeed because they've engaged some of our posts, and now that'll be in our newsfeed. And we have to make a video that's going to be interesting in that first 3 to 6 seconds, because these long intros that does all this wavy stuff, probably not exciting. You want to have something that's catching the eye. Look at YouTube, those 5 seconds, and then you can skip the ad. Well, some of those ads are so cool in that first 5 seconds that you'll sit and watch a little bit more. That's what we're going to end up having to do with our videos on Facebook, is we're going to have something in that first 5 seconds that makes you say, wow, I want to find out more. I want to click and listen. That's going to become a big thing. So Facebook's, a lot of talk about that, obviously, because they're the big dogs, and during the event, they did that purchase of what that WhatsApp, cool stuff. So gaming doesn't relate to DJs whatsoever, but I wanted to share this. Gaming, what the future of gaming and what they're doing about, actually, we'll do gaming and I'll come back to TV. I'm going to make a note of that so I don't forget to talk about TV. Gaming. What the future of it is where you're going to have pretty much everything they're talking in the future is going to be, they're seeing in the future, they're talking in probably the next couple of years, is moving to the cloud. You're not going to own content, which as DJs we will. But the typical consumer is not going to own content. They're going to subscribe to a music service that will allow them to do that, which a lot of us already do. But they're saying movies are going to go that way, and even games are going to go that way. You're just going to pay a subscription. The games are going to be hosted on the cloud as internet and devices. iPhone 6, this is one of the discussions with that we'll be able to play high-end games on our devices, and the internet speeds are going to be so good that there won't be any lag or any problem. What they're thinking is going to happen is that you will buy a game once. Say you buy Joe's bouncing ball game, and you buy it, and you can play it in your you'll log in, you'll play it on your console. Yay, I'm playing the bouncing ball. Oh, I've got to go over here. So you pause it, you go over to your next device, and you grab your phone, and you log into Joe's bouncing ball game, and you continue off right from where you left, and you continue the game. You play for another 10 minutes while you're, whatever, and then I got to go do something else. You're at your computer. Well, you can log in and continue right from, and the idea is that most of the games in the future, short-term future, they're going to start going to this, where it will be the same game over all devices, and you're just continuing the adventure. You're continuing to progress from the last point you were. kind of a cool idea, especially when you have the smaller devices that have better graphics capability and better gameplay capability. So that was kind of cool. Television, again, we're talking about making money off content, and TV, of course, is always looking for ways to make money. The big thing they talk about is making money, or basically monetizing the second screen. You've got your big TV screen over here on the wall. Well, a lot of us are sitting there with our laptops, checking whatever, doing. Sometimes we're on, on a device, mobile device. Obviously, that's huge. Mobile devices are. So they're trying to figure ways to engage that second device and the TV together. And one of the cool things they had talked about and showed a little bit was where the mobile device and the TV were literally linked together. So what was going on up there, you were getting additional information, you're getting behind the scenes things or what have you on your tablet, and it was synced with the TV. So if I'd hit pause on the TV, this paused also. So that the two were going constantly together, and it was incredible. Wow. Neat stuff. Again, you have to have good internet connections, but the future of TV, not only being the television itself, but the other peripheral devices and secondary screens. Yeah, it's like we're not wasting enough time in front of the TV. Final thing that was really stood out for me is the amount of controversy, for lack of a better way to describe it, of some of these bootleg sites that are bootlegging music, movies, games, whatever. I mean, truthfully, you can get, if a movie is released, I think you can probably download the thing. And when it gets to the theaters, you can download it within probably an hour or two after it's downloaded, or if it's released. It's incredible what's out there and what the different pirating sites are and different BitTorrent and things. I mean, they were literally giving these out by name, showing us screenshots of these sites that are making millions upon millions of dollars, basically selling or giving away bootleg content. And of course, it's really tough to shut down because they're foreign-based websites, and the U.S. doesn't have much. They can sometimes shut some down, they can block some, but they're back up and running pretty quickly. The part that was really astounding, at least I thought, is they're showing pictures of some of these. And here's, I don't remember if it was Captain Phillips or whatever. It was a recent Tom Hanks movie, and there's a picture of Tom Hanks up there. They took a screenshot. And this was the illegal, I think Pirate Bay website maybe it was theirs. But there's banner ads. It looked like Google type banner ads all the way around. And again, I don't know if it was Google or not, but there was a Walmart ad here, and there was a U.S. Marines Be All You Can Be on this illegal foreign bootleg website. So yes, from that view of that screenshot, it looked like not only was Walmart paying the bootleggers, but also and I don't know if that was indeed the case, but that's what the screenshot showed. So it really but anyway, the bootleg industry is taking a lot out, and it's really hurting, of course, a lot of people who are producing. It doesn't hurt the bigger dogs in the chain. Really, the ones that bootlegging hurts is the creators, the artists who create the content, whether that's a song, whether that's creating some of the education, whatever. It's the low people on the totem pole. The big producers and such, they make their money. They're not hurting for money. It's the little guys who are not making the money. So it was interesting. In many ways, it was kind of sad. I was hoping there would be more, that especially in a bootlegging front, that they're, hey, this is going to get better, or from the music industry side of it, there was no talk at all about vinyl, by the way. Just one gentleman mentioned in passing, that people like to collect vinyl, and that's coming back, which we all knew as DJs. But there really wasn't any discussion of vinyl being, anything more than a little niche market thing, which everything's going to become a niche market, so maybe it doesn't matter. The part that was interesting musical wise is non-popular formats. Was very funny. What's the future of non-popular formats like jazz and I laughed. Country music falls in there. But music-wise, the thing that was interesting is that in the U.S., people have been getting their music for free, which has been supplemented over radio by ads on the radio. There are some business models starting up where there's subscription services where you pay your $10 a month and then you get access to everything music-wise. And there's also some services out there where you can, obviously buy. They're seeing that, that subscription service is going to be the way. Now, some countries in the world, and if you're from one of those countries, you could probably put a comment in there and tell us, Chris, you're probably not listening to this, Chris, but we'll get to the speakers on Thursday. But some of the different countries in the world are actually building in the cost of their digital media into the cost of the devices. So if I'm paying, let's say, $50 a month for this, probably $5 a month of this is going to the music industry, and then I have access to all the music in the world, in essence, on this or what have you. They're talking about having that available for cars, mobile devices. That basically, when you get the service, the subscription service, it's included. That is included right now in many different countries. With some are in television packages where you're just paying it built in. Some are on the cell phone packages where you're just paying it; it's built in. Some you can opt out, some you can't. Some basically that's part of the deal. The music industry is thinking that that's the direction it's going to head in the United States. I really can't see that happening without a huge uproar, because if you don't start that way, I can't see adding it in unless you're going to have the big carriers just absorb it for a while. Then people will be okay with it. But if all of a sudden everybody jumps $5 a device because of music content things, oh boy, that would be really, really ugly. So that was kind of a thing to watch out for, and you may hear more about that. Secondly, is speculation for cars. We obviously have AM/FM radios in most of our cars. They were thinking in 18 months. So basically, you're talking the 2015s are going to be coming out pretty soon. So your 2016, probably your 2017 model year cars, you might start to see the AM/FM radios gone. You're going to see satellite, some satellite capability, and basically Wi-Fi capability. Again, you'd be paying a subscription service now, but then you would have access to Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi radio. Lots of cool stuff with that, but that's one of those things that where am I at? Oh, thanks for watching, Chris. I just see your comment there. Lots of cool things with cars with that, but it would basically be the Wi-Fi capability. And their concern they're having is that some of the mock-up cars that they've been talked about for 2017 have got bigger video screens in the front. And I don't know how in the world that's going to work, because let's face it, if I'm driving and there's a video going on there, as dedicated as I am to, it doesn't work. So they'll deal with that, I'm sure, because there's idiots like me that just can't, shiny, that kind of thing, and I'm gone. But the idea that AM/FM radios they don't think it's going to be lasting for, in the vehicles like that was kind of interesting. So anyway, that's about it. Just wanted to cover a few things. Again, the schedule for the week. Tomorrow night, we've got Andy Powell. And you can check DJNTV.com. You can check out the schedules. Andy Powell tomorrow night. Wednesday night, Nick from Showbay DJ. We're going to talk lighting. And Thursday night, we're going to start talking speakers. We're going to be talking about some of the powered subs. One of the powered subs that's going to be coming in. Well, actually, there's a lot of. I'm not even going to be dropping names, because there's stuff coming in that I'm not even sure. I've gotten notes from people saying we're sending stuff in because they want us to go and set them all up and shoot video, and we're going to live stream the event so you guys can see. You're going to be hearing it through. We're going to get some better quality microphones, so you're going to hear it through better quality microphones on the video. Now, it's not going to be perfect, but we're going to be talking with $500 microphones listening to this compared to $200 shotgun mics on camcorders. So it should be a good night. We're really excited about how that'll turn out, or to be able to put that together and make it all turn out for you. But Thursday night, we're going to do a little preview of that. I'll have Jeremy Landby in here if everything works out. We're in Minnesota, so weather can kill everything really quick, but it should be good. So this is John Young with the Disc Jockey News TV, DJNTV. We'll be back tomorrow night at about whatever time it says on the schedule, DJNTV.com. Good night.